Hello there. So now we are on to the continuation of my leadership philosophy. And this next section I am super excited about because I think it's one of those that it's like a reminder, right? What my leadership principles, like how do I lead, right? How do I show up enthusiastic about the work and leading teams, right? So I do this in alignment, not confusion. This one has taken shape in painful ways, I have to say, over the last couple of years. Not in a bad way at all, but just oftentimes we have been contributors, right, in our work environments. But it's different when you go from being a contributor, when you are that lead, right? When you're that person that's, quote unquote, supposed to have it figured out, if you will, right? So I am leading in alignment and not confusion. I bring structure to chaos and I set clear pathways forward. I ensure roles, responsibilities, and expectations are understood and honored. I modernize systems with humans in mind. I design processes that work for real people, not theoretical models. I build trust through transparency and consistency. I am for clarity in every meeting, decision, and directive. I guide people through uncertainty with calm and grounded leadership. In transition, I stabilize teams. In chaos, I provide direction. In ambiguity, I create clarity. I center equity and shared purpose. So those are my principles. And how did they come about? I think as I have navigated change over the last several years when it comes to my career, I have always remained grounded when I look at my core, right? What is the core of who I am, right? And being reminded constantly, right, as we navigate the evolution of that core, right? Think of it as a meditation of sorts, right? When there's just so much happening around you, how do you scale back, take that reflection, and just breathe through it? As an example, let me give you this scenario where I went painting this weekend, and they always tell you, as you are already embedded in the process of painting, take a step back, right? If there's something that you're stuck in, take a step back and look at the perspective. And that's how I do it when it comes to my leadership principles, right? How can I step back, right? I'm always self-reflecting. Like, am I seeing this the way I think I'm seeing it? Have some of those things that I've thought or believed, are they shifting? And oftentimes the answer is yes. But when I'm in there, I don't see it, maybe because it's my ego that's not allowing me to see it. So what I tend to do is take that step back to reflect, right? Like make it a habit of every 3 months, every 6 months. I have this thing that works out very well where if I do it 3 months, 6 months, and a year, I feel like I have something concrete to look at, right? Like, what are the scenarios? What are the things that have happened? What has been the outcome? And how have I managed that, right? That process, if you will. So when I do that, I think is when all this emerges. Like, for example, um, how do I bring clarity, right? Like, we live in such a fast-paced world, and oftentimes I'm like, did I hear that right? Did I interpret that right? Or and it's never late to just take a phone call or just ask somebody, can you clarify that for me? Is this what I'm understanding from you? And it's difficult, right? Oftentimes we're in such a hurry that we just want to get things done and we don't always have the time to take a step back and be like, you know what? Was my message understood or did I understand the message clearly, right? So at the end of the day, it really comes down with you to your core, to how you communicate and how you are set to establish those relationships with the people that you work with. So those are my principles. I think if anything, those are probably the core of who I am as a leader because they exemplify how I show up during the day-to-day work.